What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Scalp Solutions podcast. I am your host, David Santiago. And today I got my man coming from the mean streets of Miami, Taylor Perry. What's good, brother?
What's up, David? What's up, man? Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you for taking some time out to jump on the podcast. I know you are a very, 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 very busy man. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
Stop playing, bro. You got like 10 businesses.
Today, man, we wanted to come on together. We've been talking for a little bit, and we wanted to jump on this podcast. I know I've interviewed you before, but we wanted to address some certain topics because me and you both come from a barbering background, and we're starting to see that obviously the industry is growing at rapid rates, and we got a lot of our fellow barber brothers and sisters that are trickling in on the industry. And we've seen some things that we are happy with and some things that we're unhappy with. And we spoke about this for a while. I know we were like, man, we could make this into like a 3-hour long podcast. And we're like, jump on. Let's just jump on and we'll get into it. But before we get into that, so anyone who doesn't know who Taylor Perry is, all right, Taylor Perry is fucking killing the game right now at SMP. Taylor, how long have you been an SMP artist?
4 years now.
4 years. And prior to that, obviously you was an incredibly established barber. How long were you cutting hair for? How long you been a barber?
I've been a barber for 24 years right now.
Ooh, you got me. I'm on my I'm working on to my 22nd.
And it sounds crazy because I'm only 37, but I've been cutting hair since 15.
Nice.
15 years old in a barbershop professionally at 15.
Because I was 15 too. I'm about to be
so count.
Sorry, but my math off.
So I'm started at 15. I'm 37. So I don't know if my years are off, but that's how long. From 15 to 37.
You off? It's all good though.
It's off. All right.
20 plus. Yeah, because I was 15, and I'm about to be 40.
Yeah, and you're way older than me.
So I got 20.
I'm kidding.
Way older. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm. Oh, so I should. No, I'm on 24, 25, and you like on 22.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been cutting hair a long time.
We'll count later.
We cutting hair for a long time. We know hair. All right. So, what were you doing before? I mean, aside from barbering, what were you doing before? Oh shit! You said you were 15.
No, there was no before.
Before.
I've never had a job in my life besides cutting hair. I've been, you could say, living off the land since I was a kid. Right off the porch. I had one job prior to cutting hair, and that was at a sub shop. I was so excited, got my first job, man. I'm gonna buy a car. Man, I got a paycheck. It was like, I don't know, back then, $150 for like 2 weeks. I was so pissed.
What was it, a sub shop?
Yeah, sub shop, making subs. Yeah. It's a little kids, like 14 or something like that. And I quit that shit. First paycheck I quit. I was like, fuck this. I'm never gonna be able to buy a car.
I'm going back to cutting hair.
Yeah.
So what was your introduction to SMP, bro?
So my introduction to SMP, I was cutting hair for a very long time. Obviously I loved it. I wanted to cut hair, at that time, for that long of a time. And I was burnt out, bro. I was at a really high volume barbershop, doing 20, 30 haircuts a day. And it's cool. It's great for some people. For me, I made a ton of money, but I was just done, bro. My body was done. Mentally, I was just done. I wanted a career change, but I don't know what to do. I'm completely lost. Been cutting hair my whole life. And one of my clients comes in, and I'm cutting his hair. He's not bald, but he's thin, cutting his hair. And he's like, yo, how do you like my head? And I'm like, it looks cool. I'm like, what you put Just for Men in it? Like, you dyed it yourself, And he's like, nah, it's a tattoo. So I stopped cutting hair. I look at his head. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is genius. And especially in Miami, we're huge on hair enhancements. So that's like right up our alley, you know? And I was like, yo, give me that dude's number. He gave me the guy's number. And I'm looking at his head. It was awesome. It was amazing. It impressed me, but the hairline was crooked. It wasn't that great, you know? It was just like, but still genius, you know?
Right.
So I contact the guy who did his head, and he's like some like whatever, world-renowned guy, trainer, teacher, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool, bro. Let me see. You got a portfolio, you got pictures of your work. And he's like, nah, I don't really got no pictures. And I'm like, all right, cool. How long you been a barber for? No, I'm not a barber. I'm like, okay, how long you been a tattoo artist for? No, I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm like, all right, next. So I started doing my research, and I'm researching the game, and I'm starting to see people pop up. I'm like, dude, I've never heard of this. How the hell are there so many people doing this? And again, just I started tattooing at 18. My oldest brother is a tattoo artist. So I've been around tattooing, cutting hair my whole life. And once I seen it and I did a little research, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna murder this game. I'm gonna kill it. Because they're doing dope work, but not my style of work, like natural hairlines, which look awesome and like really impressive stuff, but none of that like barber touch, you know. It's like it's a culture thing. So I was like, I'm gonna murder this, bro. And I just said, thank you, God. I found my career change, and that was a wrap.
And you've been murdering it ever since.
Yeah.
And you brought something up about your style and about the barbering culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that a few of us, a lot of barbers have brought in with us to SMP, that has been known to say, I would say, is more cookie cutters. Like they have this established foundation that has been like, hey, this is how you do SMP. When you attack the headline, this is how you do it. But us as barbers, we're like, I could probably go a little darker.
So they can
more.
call it cookie cutter. They can call it whatever the hell they want. I don't give a damn, because the natural hairlines I love. I think they are amazing. They look really, really good. But me as a barber, my entire life, I've never had one person walk in the barbershop and say, yo, T, don't line me up. Never in my life. So those guys that get the natural hairlines, typically those are the guys that get a haircut every 3 months. They don't give a shit. Most of them, you know. So the chances of somebody who doesn't care about their haircut giving me $3,000 is a lot lower than somebody who gets a haircut once or twice a week. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'll take the cookie cutters because that's my culture and where I'm from and what we like, you know?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and what I meant by cookie cutter, it was like, you know, oh, because we're known for, you know, and New Yorkers,
yeah.
Get it too.
I know what you mean.
You know, the hairline is so sharp, it looks fake, this, that, the third. And I try to tell cats, I stopped defending our style.
Yeah.
I don't even do it anymore, because at the end of the day, the clients are walking out of here. We gave them what they want. I don't care what it used to look like, what the hairline used to look like 10 years ago. In New York, it's like when I was defending it, I would tell them, all right, how about this, bro? Let's take you to the South Bronx. We're going to take you to a barbershop, and I want you to pay attention to every single haircut that comes out of there, whether it be a number one, a Brooklyn fade, a Brooklyn taper, a DA. They all have a hairline. Like they'll comb a little bit to the front just so they can make that crispy hairline. That's what everybody wants.
And when he says, let's watch all the haircuts that are coming out of here, he's not talking about 5 guys. He's talking about hundreds.
Yeah.
Like that's what we do.
This is what
that's a culture.
It's a culture. Exactly. It's culture. So like you said, you have, you know, your style, and I want to bring it up because I want to talk about the elephant in the room. Me and you have had this conversation in the beginning when I was kind of like losing my like I was scared to completely like the barber completely come into the game.
to like
an experiment. I was kind of like, yeah, I get it. I don't really want to go that dark. That really doesn't look too good. And then I had to like, yo, but hold on a minute, bro. Like I'm thinking about Dave at the chair and how I was always
yeah.
like, nah, like this hairline needs to look like if you touch it, you're gonna bleed.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be bleeding, right? So you have been a topic of a lot of artists. They've taken your pictures and fucking did like memes and saying like, oh, this guy's botching dudes or he's going too dark, et cetera, et cetera. How does that make you feel? Or like, what do you even have to say about that?
So at the beginning, when I first started, and because everything I do with passion. Everything I do, I don't half-ass anything. So no matter what I do, if you see me doing something, I'm giving it my all. So at the beginning, it really hurt me, especially because I'm doing everything with such good intentions. So it was a little rough, and I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do? Like go around and fight everybody? You know what I mean? You can't do that. We're running businesses.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of like overcame it, and I just realized that's just part of being successful is you're gonna have some guys hating on you. It happens. And it doesn't bother me anymore, because my ultimate goal is client satisfaction and making my clients happy. My clients love me and I love them. So what some jackass in the middle of nowhere says about me that nobody knows in real life, it doesn't really matter. They could talk on the internet, but in real life, nobody knows who they are. My clients love me and I love them. And as long as I give them what they want, that's ultimately our goal as artists, is to provide for our clients, And again, if somebody's completely bald, yeah, you can't go crazy dark on them. You know what I mean? Like there is limits, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's all preference, man.
So now you don't listen to the noise. You don't listen.
No, I'm so like the ladder, right? The ladder of success. When you first start something, and probably this can relate to any industry, I want to say when you're first climbing up this ladder, it's like competition, like if you're doing what I'm doing and F you, and you know what I mean, it's it's all that. And as you're kind of higher up the ladder, those guys start getting knocked off, or they don't elevate with you. They're still at the bottom of the ladder. So most people who are talking shit, photoshopping other people's pictures, hating, they're still at the bottom of the ladder, because as you climb up the ladder of success, it's still competition. It's still, but it's friendly competition, because we all respect each other. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at the point where it is competition, but it's friendly competition. And, I don't really get that type of stuff anymore,
So,
and everybody on my level, we respect each other to the fullest,
and we give each other shit. And we do
Yeah,
it.
we fuck with each other, but
We do it in the
it's all
public. We do it in public.
it's all and it's all love too,
Yeah, of course.
because
So,
we all know how hard we work to get to where we're at.
yeah, definitely. So at least for me, I'm gonna tell you like what changed for me as a like adapting, like not adapting, like really bringing in more of the barbering and like steering away,
Yes.
just like what the gurus, the SMP gurus were saying.
Yeah.
For me. So I don't know if it happened for you, but once I stopped listening and worrying about all the industry and just like, yo, let me work on my style, how I go about business. And I'm not worrying about any of these cats. I'm not worrying about social media. Every post got to be a before and after, etc. Once I started doing that, it was game over for me.
Yeah.
You feel like once you like stop listening to what other people were saying you had to do or you should be doing, change, the business went for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to, anyone who's listening, I can say is, when you start becoming successful, all this stuff is going to happen. And I think it happens to most people, if not everyone. But I got to the point where, yo, I got to put like those blinders like the horses wear. And it's, I don't care if this guy is up here and I'm down here or who's where. Only thing that matters is me, right? And focus only on me and where I'm headed. And I just stopped looking at everybody. I only worried about myself. And man, everything just changed. The whole world changes, everything, and slowly, like all that rah-rah stuff kind of just fades off as these guys get knocked off the ladder. If they don't get knocked off the ladder, they're usually still in the same spot as you elevate. So
they do that one client a month.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it's all love. And even when I look, like when I started SMP and a lot of these guys were like, yo, who the fuck is this new guy? Da da da. And like, how is he so busy and blah blah blah, and he's doing straight edge ups. And I'm like, yo, new guy, like, you're the fucking new guy. Who are you? Oh, I've been doing SMP for 7 years. I'm like, all right, I've been cutting hair and doing tattoos for 20. So who are you? Yeah. You're in my industry. Yeah, SMP, they consider it, its own industry. But nah, bro, you're in the beauty industry, which I've been in my entire life. So you're new. You used to sell car insurance or whatever. I'm born and raised in this. Yeah, I've never had another job besides the beauty industry. So all you guys, you've been doing SMP for 10 years. Guess what? You're still the new guy, not me. That's my outlook.
Got you. And so check this out. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, right? Because I don't know if I told you this. I know Tim knows about it. We all shoot the shit, behind the scenes together. And we give each other a lot of shit. So we saw, because I like to do memes.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I do the memes, right? So I saw this one ad. It was like a legit Facebook ad. And I'm looking and I'm like, wow, this dude put money behind that. Like, he's literally, like, he's botching this dude's head. So my people's put it out. And you know what? I'll be honest, like, I didn't even make that meme. But
I think I remember this one.
I made the meme. They got access to the scalp, the business one. So they threw it on. Yeah. And I find out after, because dude's wife called.
Yeah.
And I had an idea. I was like, she was like, yeah, you just put a picture of my husband and you was talking bad about him. And I'm thinking, like, first of all, like, I never put nothing like directly speaking bad about anyone, I just like a funny meme. So I'm like, what's happening right now? So I'm looking on my storyline, like, I don't see anything, but it was, the 24 hours already have passed. All right. So the whole point of this is because, I posted it because I figured, dude was like botching. So anyway, now I tell her, like, listen, with full due respect, I appreciate you. I think it's noble that you stepping up to bat. For your husband, but let me talk to him. Like, if I offended him, let me at least explain myself why I did it. So now I call up my peoples. I'm like, yo, what's going on? They're like, yeah, this is the guy. This is the picture. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I'm on the phone right now with his wife. She's crazy pissed off because she's like, that's unprofessional what you did. You look like a good artist yourself. How would you like if I did this to you? So I'm like, listen, let me just talk to your husband. I don't think she didn't think that I spoke Spanish. And gets on the phone. And I'm listening to him and he's like, listen, bro, I've been cutting hair for over 20 years. When dudes come to me, they know what they want. They're showing me pictures. And this is exactly what he said, right? So, again, when as a businessman, like, you can't just be ignorant. You gotta be, you gotta listen to every side. Different perspective, you know what I mean, on how they function. He was like, yo, these guys are coming in here, they're showing me pictures and they're going, this is what I want. And I tell them, this is how much I'm gonna charge you. And they tell me, that's okay. This is what I want.
Yeah.
It's like, my job is to satisfy the customer. He was like, I don't know what you know about business. I'm not telling you that in a bad way. But I'm like, nah, I was hearing him out. He was like, what? In business, have you ever heard the saying that the customer's always right? And I was kind of like, okay, he's spitting. I was like, yeah. So, so it's like 50-50, right? Because part of it is kind of like, okay, the dude's paying you money, but in the SMP industry and this and with the standards that are set, it's kind of like, yeah, but that's kind of like botching. Like, do we really want that? But then it's kind of like, yo, if you don't do it, he's gonna go to somebody else. He's gonna be like, this is what I want. I need you to make this happen. And they're gonna do it. So like after hearing him speak like that, I was kind of like, oh shit, like I get it. Like I understand what he's saying. I was like, you know what? I should have just let homie rock. I mean, we do have some cats that
Yeah.
stuff out there that we know is like, holy shit. But
Yeah.
he justified it. I was kind of like, look, I still don't think I would do it like what he was doing.
Yeah.
But I'm
I
gonna
remember
leave
it.
him alone. So it's kind of like I was saying that because it made me think. Because then I was like, now we have you and people try to hit you up with the same shit, but then it goes right back to it's the same thing because this is what they want. And they're coming to us because they're like, yo, you guys are barbers, and if anybody's gonna do this shit super straight and crispy and boxed,
Yeah,
gonna be you.
it's there's obviously a line. There is some crazy looking stuff that happens with newer artists, but I want to say most of the industry. When we started, is just a completely different culture than us. And they just have to understand there's other cultures in the world,
Yeah.
So
okay, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, my bad. If I gave one of my clients a really, like very light work that you could barely see, he's gonna be freaking pissed. He's gonna be so mad. He's gonna think I robbed him. So again, somebody from a different culture that wants a nice soft 5 o'clock shadow, like that's what he wants. And if he got an edge up, he would be pissed. So it's all culture, man. It's all preference. I'm an artist and I appreciate all styles, and I love naturals, I love edge ups, I love it all, and I love the variety. And I'm just known for edge ups. I'm a barber, and most of my clients, that's what they want. Not that that's all I do. I do everything. There's nothing I can't do, but that's just mainly what my clients coming to me for, and just got to appreciate all cultures.
Yeah, and I know barbers, we get a hard rap. We got a bad rap in the in the industry, but there's a couple of things, and we're gonna start touching in on that because for the most part, me and you have both agreed that to a certain extent, people have the right to feel how they feel. But today we're gonna kind of want to let them know, like, yo, this is why we behave certain ways. Because again,
I've always clicked with everything you say. I've always agreed with. Like there's
culture. We've both agreed that we ride that fine line, meaning we're not unprofessional, but you could tell that we're rough around the
you know what it is? It's called authentic.
Okay.
That's what it's called. It's authentic.
Got you.
So we run it we run it.
I'm trying to break that down.
Yeah. We run our businesses in a very professional way, but it's authentic. It's the same. I run my shop extremely professional. It can't be more professional than it is. But this is the same environment I worked in my whole life, which is barbering, the barber culture. So when you come in here, super comfortable, it's cozy. It's like the type of place you could watch the game on Sunday at, very clean, very sterile. I don't got a doctor's suit on, I'm not hitting you with all this crazy literature. I'm talking the same way I would talk to you if we were hanging out, so it's just, comfortable, man. I want you to feel like at home when you come here.
Yeah. Just being yourself, essentially. That's something I had a really hard time with.
I'm an artist, not a doctor.
In the beginning, I'm a doctor, love doctor. That one so now, right, we already, we spoke about your background, a little bit of the come up. And again, like, we kind of wanted to dedicate this podcast to, actually, you know what, not only to barbers, but to artists, just SMP artists that don't have the barbering background, so they could kind of get a better understanding of like barbers and why we are the way we are, our mentality, the culture,
Yes.
stuff. So that being said, we want to talk about, let's start tapping into the transitioning from a barber to SMP, and how that was for you. And there's certain mannerisms and customs and courtesies that we do as barbers that we know don't really sit well in the SMP industry. Which of those did you leave behind? Which of those did you bring over with you?
Yeah, I got you. So start like the transition, I could say. So, and anybody listening to this that's not a barber or in the beauty industry, and when like me and Dave say barbering, I can kind of say beauty industry. We're barbers, so you're gonna hear that word a lot because that's just what we're used to. But beauty industry, you deal with cosmetics. So the transition from that to SMP, I like to tell my students that are in the beauty industry, this is not a career change for you. This is a service, right? It's the highest paying service possible. So this service can change your career, but it's not a career change. We're still in the same industry, So implementing this service into what we already do, whether you're a barber or a stylist, even a makeup artist, whatever. So right off from day one, we have a buffet of clientele at our fingertips, So I tell them, let's keep, my come up was completely organic. And I didn't put myself in situation. I let it grow. I let this service grow. And eventually that service took over my career, and I don't cut hair anymore, but you got to grow it just like a plant, So we're planting that seed. So right off the rip, we got a buffet of clients at our fingertips. So now we have to educate, right? Awareness. Right. So you got to make awareness of our new service, SMP. Show every client that walks in your shop. I don't care if they're going to laugh at you. I don't care if they're going to get it. It don't matter. You have to make awareness of the service. So I was relentless, bro. You step foot in my barbershop, you are looking at my pictures, you're going to know I'm doing SMP. I don't care. And I'm showing dudes, and dudes tell me it was stupid, and that's fine. Because guess what? Your homeboy might like it. Right. So I'm showing everyone. And to be like the transition, I learned that when I would show some people and they would I felt like they blew me off or paid me no mind, I was still dropping the seed, and they didn't necessarily blow me off, even though I kind of felt like that. But 6 months later, they're like, yo, Tia, I think I'm ready to get it, bro. So the same guy that kind of just turned his head when I showed him and didn't say one word was thinking about it. He just kind of maybe didn't know how to respond, So at the beginning, you might feel like people are blowing you off, or, you're not getting no traction, but it takes time, and it's a snowball effect where it will slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I didn't get a big overhead. I started in the barbershop on Sundays when the shop was closed. And Sunday was my designated SMP day. So starting off in the beauty industry, you guys got to make goals. My goal was one client a week every Sunday, whether it was a second session, a third session, or a new guy, didn't matter. I have to touch a real person once a week. If I didn't do that, then I practiced when I got home. I practiced every single day for almost 8-9 months. I'll take a couple of days off, but I'm practicing when I get home. And if I did a real client, I would skip the practice that day. And my goal, I hit my goal. From day one, I hit the goal. Every Sunday, I did one session at least. And then that grew to 3 guys, to 4 guys. I was doing 5 guys every Sunday, 5 sessions. And then from then I started doing it at night when the shop was closed. So 4 nights a week at 8 o'clock, after I'm done cutting hair, I'm setting on my station. I'm doing SMP in one session. So I worked 7 days a week for over a year and a half. And I got my storefront because I had no more free time to book clients. So I was forced to get my storefront. So I didn't just start from scratch with a lot of bills and overhead. You know what I mean? I got the store when I was forced to get the store because I grew so big. So I want to say, try not to get a big overhead. Try to keep everything as low as possible and grow it organically. And eventually, you can start doing ads and get a little office or whatever it may be, but try to grow it organically, and with a very low overhead. I'm doing this because I enjoy it and I really want to get successful. If I had a huge overhead, I had to come up with this money every month. Now you start chasing cash, and
Visible.
your mentality will change because you have to come up with this money now. And I don't like chasing cash. I want to enjoy what I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
We did there's a question that we both get very often from other barbers, and it's, yo, should I shut down my barber shop?
oh yes,
Yes, that was it.
yes, that's it.
Should I shut down my barber shop and just be exclusive to SMP? Because they got their first month, and they're like, yo, I just did 10 clients because now it's a new service, and thinking like, wow, you know what? Taylor Perry's got a nice office. Dave's got 6 rooms, blah, blah, blah. Like, their bar, I could do this. But what they don't know is you do not ever shut down that barbershop until you've created and scaled it to a level like what you did, like what I
Yes.
did, where I knew, okay, this is good. I'm getting at least 8 to 10 a month where I could handle a bigger office, etc. And we both have reasons as to why they should keep that barbershop open. So I'm gonna let you start off as to why that barbershop is key to being a successful SMP artist if you're a barber coming into the game.
All right, really good. Let me plug my computer in real fast because it's just gonna die. Sorry, my battery's getting eaten up. Let me plug this in real quick.
Intermission. Get the intermission here. We're gonna leave behind the scenes here too.
Sorry, guys. 1 second.
Taylor Perry has a 75-foot wide photography light that is lighting up his entire office.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
It's all good.
All right. So the bar. All right. So that is such
Barbershop
good.
Why?
Such a great topic, and that's one of the things I hear so often. So that barbershop is your advertisement. That barbershop is your source of clientele. So never ever would I say kick your barbers out and turn into a full-blown SMP office. Utilize it. You got a buffet of clients right from day one, which most people that are not in the beauty industry don't have the luxury of having that. So that is better than any Google ad or Facebook ad you can pay for. You got clientele, local clientele in your community that already has a relationship with you. So, I started after hours in the shop, but, ideally get an office separate from your barbershop or a small room in the back at the beginning, and utilize that shop to the fullest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never in even if you get your own office, right? And you do have some overhead. And SMP is slow at the beginning. You got your shop, man. Your shop's holding you down. When you don't got SMP, you cutting hair, or you got your barbers paying you the rent or percentage, whatever you have. And that's going to take care of your bills for your SMP office. You know, it's going to support each other. So definitely that's your roots, man. Don't get rid of your roots. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
That's a funnel. That's free
it's
Facebook.
a funnel. That's a funnel. That you said it. You said it.
What you need. Like, you know how like when you get really deep into the marketing, like we like, you know, we want like these lead generating services and all that, like a barbershop. That is it. So if you're a barber and
Yeah.
you're listening, you don't shut down that barbershop. You know why? How many, just think about it. How many times have you had a client come to you and they go, yo, I got a little bit of hair loss in the front of my hairline, or I got a little bit of, you know, my hair is thinning on the crown. Is there anything that you could do for me? Like, you no longer have to be like, oh yeah, I got you, bro. I got some enhancements. I got some hair fibers. I got some black magic, Beijing. Yes. You could be like, yo, I got this new service that I offer. It's called scalp micropigmentation. Let me show you some pictures. Boom, got them. And keeping that barbershop open, if you're the only one that's providing that service, guess what? If that's your shop, you as the leader, now you sit down your barbers and you let them know, yo, guys, check this out. If you got a client, they come in and they're experiencing a little bit of hair loss or they're looking for enhancements, make sure you let them know about scalp micropigmentation and that I offer it. And then to keep them wanting to send you referrals from their own chair, you throw them a little something. They renting out the chair for you for $200 a week. Be like, nah, John, I appreciate you, bro. You gave me a client that do bless me, maybe a $2,000. Don't even give me the booth. Don't even give me the chair rental. Week, bro. I appreciate you, because now it's gonna keep them. They're gonna feel compelled now to help you because you're giving them value by giving them a whole week's free, you know, for them to make money and bring food to their table. So like that barbershop, man, I sometimes regret it because I miss it. Part of me is kind of like, damn, like on them months that you like really out there, like trying to hustle and push, and you telling the marketing team like, yo, let's change this, change these words, do this with the campaign. It's like, man, if I would have had a barbershop every day, we got like 40, 50 people come
revolving door,
recycling, bro, all day, every day, bro.
Revolving door. I used to do that too. I used to tell the barbers I'll pay half your rent. I didn't own the shop, so I tell them, I'll pay half your rent. Any client you send me.
Yes. You know? And it's a beautiful thing. And now, speaking of that, right, I get a lot of questions from barbers. Well, we both do. You know, we've had these before. There's a lot of misconceptions, right? Because I've had barbers that are like, yo, how do you feel about me coming in on the weekends when my barbershop is closed and I put up a curtain so that nobody could see? And, you know, I set up a nice little shop. I mean, I keep it nice, clean, sanitary, and I start doing SMP to start building myself up. And tell them, as a businessman, you know, not just it being SMP, we all know you got to start somewhere. You don't want to start in the bathroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to start somewhere. And these barbers that are coming into the game are being told things like, no, you don't want to do that. You need to go get an office. You need to be professional, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I just wanted to take a little bit of time to address that, because I feel like a lot of cats that are giving this advice are not understanding, like, to scale a business, you got to start at the bottom sometimes. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you having humble beginnings and asking the owner of the barbershop, hey, you close on Sundays, you know, can I set up shop, you know, throw a curtain on top, you know, keep the state out. I don't give a shit if it's illegal, bro. You trying to scale, you trying to build. You don't want to put yourself in this predicament where you go now because you listening to this dude and you get yourself a room that you can't even afford because you don't even have proof of concept yet and you don't have any clients. So you know what? Use that barbershop, set yourself up somewhere nice, put a little curtain, separate it, make sure it's sanitary, and work on your craft. Build your portfolio. And I don't understand like why some cats knock that. You got some of the biggest establishments in this country, in this world, and they started from a garage. You know what I mean? Like from a garage. Like, would you go to Apple or Amazon and tell them, hey man, you went about this wrong? No, look what they built working out of a garage.
Wild up.
All right, guys, we had a little technical difficulties here, you know. We make a lot of money, you got cheap computers, you know, things happen. All right, so where we cut off at, we were talking about barbers wanting to just come up, and you know that I've been getting a lot of barbers who always come to me because they know I'm from a barbering background, and they're like, listen, you know, I was told that I shouldn't set up shop at the back of the barber shop, even though I want to put a curtain and keep it nice and sterile, you know, a little station, you know, what do I think? And I always tell them like, yo, go for it, man. You want to go for it because you don't want to keep up with the Joneses. When you try to keep up with the Joneses, that's how you end up with your company upside down. And now you owe a crap load of money. You take out all these loans and now you're stuck, you're trapped because you didn't even give yourself the opportunity to scale correctly or to give your potential consumers a proof of concept. How do you feel about that? Like them receiving that kind of
advice.
advice?
Okay. So should you be doing SMP in your barber shop after hours or in a back room during open hours? I'm gonna agree with them, right? That you should have your own office for SMP. It should be taken out of the barber shop. Yes, I do agree with that. But we got to get there, right? So how do we get there? So let's do this. Let's set a target, right? Our target, our goal is to have our own SMP studio. Okay. So that's our goal. That's the target. So now let's work backwards. What do we got to do to get to that target? You know, and we'll work our way back. We need a portfolio, right? We need experience. We need money. So we gotta get all this before we get this office. So if you get the office and we get our target, but we don't have all the necessary items to run this office, you know? So number one, let's start working after hours. Just utilize what we have. Let's work in the shop on Sundays when it's closed or after hours at night. And let's build our portfolio. Let's build our experience. Let's get really good. Let's learn. And slowly, as you get experience and as your portfolio grows, now you're going to start charging money. Yep. You know, I don't think you should charge money on day one. I think you should enjoy doing this. You should want to get good. You got to get good. So as the more heads you do, now you can start charging a little more and a little more and a little more and save that bread, stack it away. It's extra money. You cut hair all day or you did hair, you know, whatever you did, you that's holding us down. This is extra money. Save that. And as your portfolio grows, as your skills get better, you're saving more money. Now, eventually, that where we started, it's building a bigger circle and a bigger circle, and the snowball is growing. Now we can go get that office because I know I'm consistently getting 1 to 3 heads a month, and my bills are covered, you know, right. And that's going to take you some time to get there or whatever. So when you do get this office, you're not scrambling to pay these bills, you know, and just let it be organic, man. Utilize everything you got. Anyone listen to this that's not in the beauty industry, this is the same thing for you guys. Utilize this. If you got to do this in your living room or for the first few people, then that's what it is. You gotta get good at this. You got to learn. You got to do this, you know. Don't just set up all these bills and expensive office when you've only done one head or one, you know, portion of skin at your training. You know, let's do some heads. Let's get some experience. There's plenty of barbers that actually choose to cut hair at their house, you know.
Like it's a normal thing. They don't know any better. And again, it comes to like, if you don't know the culture, like you're like, oh, that's unprofessional. You crazy? Some of the most successful barbers make their money exclusively from cutting hair in somebody's kitchen.
Yeah. Same thing with tattoo artists. There's millions of tattoo artists. Amazing.
And again, like I get it. We said it like in the very beginning, it's acceptable. You need to build yourself up and you want to scale the business correctly, because you don't want to immediately, jump off the porch and, accumulate all those.
It's funny. All right. So that you mentioned this, right? Right before we got on this podcast, I was talking to my boy, Juice the Barber in Orlando. And this is exactly what we talked about right before this podcast. So funny. So Juice is one of the best SMP artists out. And a lot of people might not know who he is at the moment. He's pretty known in the barber world. SMP world, he's not that known. This guy is fire.
Yeah, I know who Juice is.
All right. So I'm talking to Juice. I'm like, Juice, he's been working in his shop. He got a small back room in his barber shop. His shop's extremely clean. He's a clean freak. His shop is extremely
He's got a really nice truck too. He's got a nice mobile,
yes,
barber shop.
Yeah. So his shop's extremely clean, great setup. He got a little room in the back. And over the years, he's working out of his barber shop, and he's getting busier and busier. His portfolio has gotten so big, and he started charging cheap. He charged a little more. Right now he's charging, regular price, $3,000 per client. And I'm telling him, Juice, you know what your next step is? He's like, what? It's like, you got to get your own office. You got to take the SMP out of the barbershop now. And he's like, dude, that's exactly what I've been thinking. I'm actually looking for a place right now. So Juice did this completely organic, right? And now he's charging full price. When he leaves and gets his own office, he's not going to leave his barbershop. He's just going to get, his own office solely for SMP. His bookings are going to go up big time, because there is clients that are not going to want to come to your barbershop. There is clients that are going to want a little bit more privacy. And I believe that SMP should be done in a private place,
Agree.
But that's exactly what we're talking about, is the process. He went through the whole process,
Yeah.
And now he's moving out, but his portfolio is thick. His portfolio is bigger than most people,
That's awesome. And that's the way to do it. And before, we cut off, what I was saying was, you have some of the biggest institutions, corporations in the world that started from bedrooms, garages. And I already know what's going, but they're not dealing with blood. No, it doesn't matter. If you go back 20 years ago, and this person, if Jeff Bezos and fucking Bill Gates and all of them told you, this is what I got going on in my garage, and in the future it's going to be worth $80 billion, they would have looked at them and be like, yo, you're crazy. Nobody starts a tech company from a garage or from a bedroom. And here it is. So we're not saying, hey, listen, be all crazy, ghetto, and ratchet with it. But at some point, you're going to have some humble beginnings. Do it. Be as sanitary as you absolutely possibly can, because the last thing you want to do is give someone an infection. But don't be quick to just go get that office and you haven't established a client base, because guess what? You just set yourself up for disaster. And that is going to lead to our next topic, which is SMP is not, I repeat, hold on, is not a get rich quick scheme, y'all.
Where's the applause at? Where does the applause at?
Listen, man, whoever takes this out of context and take this, listen, man, I know the thing is, come in the game, you're going to make $100,000 your first year, et cetera, et cetera. No, you're not. You are not going to make $100,000 your first year. Here's why. Because you probably have no business foundation skills. So you don't even know how to run a business. That's not your fault. It's okay. It's okay. You need to learn those things. I'm just saying, a lot of cats are like, I'm going to teach you something and you're going to make $100,000. Can the skill that they're showing you, when used correctly and when you go forward correctly, can you make 100,000 your first year? Hell yeah, of course. Absolutely, you can. But if you think you're just going to spend 3 days learning the basic fundamentals of SMP, and I'm talking to barbers, and why barbers? Because we love money. We hear like, what, 2,500, 3,000 a head? I'm charging $60 for a fade. I'm doing 20 of these. Hell no, 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 no. And you forget about the clippers. Now you want to close down the barber shop. And you like, I'm going to go. You forget about everything. You like, I'm going to be the next Taylor Perry. I'm going to be the next Chris. I'm going to get this Lambo by my 6th month. My trainer told me I'm going to make 250,000 my first year. No, you're not. This shit is not a get rich quick scheme, fellas. Ladies, you got to put in work. Taylor, please give them something, bro. Let them know
Yeah.
it's not easy.
So yeah, the chances of you making 100K your first year are pretty low. Not saying you can't do it. I've seen it done a lot of times, but it's the people who do make that 100K the first year are typically the people who don't come in here trying to make the 100K that first year. Mentally, they come in wanting to learn. You know, they enjoy the process. So there is in this industry, it's became a sales pitch, a get rich sales pitch. Take this class. You're going to get you rich. You're going to make you 100K a year. You're going to make $1 million. I've heard a lot of people say you're going to make $1 million in a year. And I'm like,
how, Sway? How, Sway?
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. But like, you know, so lost my train of thought.
We're talking about the $1 million is not a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah. Okay. So the hack, right? The hack to not SMP, the hack to life, right? You get rich fast as possible, especially in SMP. You want to get rich as fast as possible, and that is to go through the entire process of learning, starting from scratch, completely organic. That is the fastest way possible. There's no get rich scheme. You got to do the work. And if you enjoy doing the work, you're going to do it every day, and then you're going to get fast. You're going to get good fast. So I got a student that went home and did like 10 heads his first week, Joanne in Brooklyn. Let me tell you something about Joanne. His first year, he bought a fucking Lamborghini.
Yeah.
That's my guy right there.
But there's some of these cats that are out there, they're getting it that the industry doesn't know, and they don't care to be known by the industry.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He just want to get it.
So let's put it like this. I got Jawan. I trained him. He went home. He did 10 heads his first week. He's a barber and did 10 heads his first week for free. For free. He wanted to do it. And he started charging a few $100, then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. But he stayed consistent. He practiced every day. He was constantly booking clients. If you had a couple bucks to throw him, he'll take it. If you didn't, he's going to take it because he wants your pictures. He wants to build his portfolio. This kid made a lot of money his first year. I got another guy I trained, went home. All he cared about was the money. He paid a lot for training. I understand. And he wants to charge 2,500 right off the rip, and he won't budge. He's not taking no for an answer, but guess what? He went home and did nobody for months. Finally, he got somebody for like 1,800. All right, got one head. We're talking about 3.5 years ago. Now he's starting to slowly make progress. Yeah. Meanwhile, Jawan went home, and what this guy did in 3 years, Jawan did in a week. So because Jawan was just so excited to do this, he was so happy. So it's just the process. You gotta go through the process. You gotta build your portfolio. You gotta get good. Just enjoy it. It's not a get rich scheme. Okay, I lost my train of thought again. But what I was getting at, you got the guy who took 3 years, and he's barely right now starting to make progress. And then you got Jawan, who was just busted out of this class and just started killing it, right? They typically, both of those two guys spent the same amount of time practicing. Jawan did it in a month, and that guy did it in 3 years.
Yeah, but so, it's a different mindset. One dude came in the game exclusively for money. And yes, what a lot of people need to understand with SMP is no different than any other business. And you're probably like, who the hell are you to say this? You're just an SMP artist. No, I'm not. I have several successful businesses. So I like to bring that over. This is why I speak about business foundations and financial literacy more than SMP tips, because I see that that's what a lot of these people lack, and they don't realize SMP business is no different from any other business. You need some foundations, and you need some fundamentals, and you need some understanding, and you're going to take time. You need patience for you to scale your business. And if you come in here, just like any business that you start exclusively for money, you're going to fail. Do we all go into business for money? Yes, of course we do. But guess what? The people that succeed have some passion for the industry that they're in. So like you said earlier, right? You love what you do, right? Once you start loving it, you were genuine about it, the money starts coming in. But if you're just coming in going, oh, hold up, you know, I'm gonna make $1 million my first year. Hell yeah, I'm gonna get it. First off, let's just break this shit down right now, because I hate hearing that. Yo, you're gonna make $1 million your first year. Let's do some basic math, because you know we hear these big numbers and we don't break it down. But I'm gonna break this down to you so you guys can understand what it takes to make $1 million. All right, and this
break that down.
Taxes, all right, guys. It's not including taxes. All right, so you want to make $1 million. You like saying that the average procedure costs $3,000, right? Boom. That 1 million divided by 3,000, if my calculations are correct, is 333. That means you have to do, is it 333, bro? I see you pulling up the calendar.
Yeah. I'm seeing
333.
Hold up.
Oh, don't do it to me, bro.
No, I think you're right on point. So 1,000 divided by.
You want to make the $1 million, right? So boom, here you go. To make those $1 million for the first year, right? This is if you only doing SMP, not training, because there's cats out there that they making these kind of money, but they're training. Bam. Look at that. Who's your boy? See that? You a six-figure by the name of Jigga, you know these numbers. So check it out, right? $1 million. Now you like to say that the average procedure costs $3,000. Boom. That means you have to do 333 clients. That's first sessions. We're not even talking about second and third. So that means how many days we got in a year? 365. You essentially have to do one client every day. Mm-hmm. Guess who's doing that? Not you, who just finished that 3-day fundamentals training, bro. So don't get caught up on that. Don't get caught up on it. Don't let your trainer G you and telling you that you're gonna make $1 million your first year in the middle of a tsunami. It's not gonna happen. All right. This is just like any other business. It takes patience. You need to have financial literacy. You need to have a business foundation background. There's so much stuff that you need to understand. And barbers, if you're listening, I'm sorry that I got to come at you like this, fellas, but this is the reality, man. You can't come in here thinking that you're going to be the next Taylor Perry by June 2022. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You can be, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Absolutely.
Everything he's telling you guys is the pure, honest truth. And if you guys got passion, you can be extremely successul.
Oh yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
So it's man, you guys come in this and just do the work, man. Do the work. You're going to win.
And you'll win, and we'll see you at the top. And now let's get to the next thing, my brother. And this will be the final. We wanted to talk about professionalism, right? Because professionalism is one of the hot topics that You hear it in the forums. Just people in
Mhm.
the industry, they don't like the way barbers, they don't like how we conduct ourselves. And again, we both have agreed that it's a cultural thing.
Mhm.
We're used to being in an environment where I'm from the South Bronx. You know, you're from Miami. We
Mhm.
grew up in rough areas, so we cater to a rough clientele. So when you come in our office, DMX and Mobb Deep is in the background,
Oh
like
yeah.
city, you know. So like we've been as barbers, we've been conditioned to be chameleons. To be a
Yes.
successful barber, you have to be a chameleon, right? Where you working? I'm working in the hood. Guess what? I'm listening to that hood shit all day, every day. When I come in, I see my client. Yo, what's popping, fam? I'm all loud. I'm telling him his Jordans are fire. There's a certain personality that has to follow with that because you have to be a chameleon. But now, when you get into the SMP world, you know, you're not charging $60 for a haircut now. You're not charging $20. You got a high ticket item, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000. With that, a certain level of professionalism has to follow. Do you agree with me on that, Taylor?
1000%, bro. 1000%. It's always like it's a topic that a lot of people say, yo, all these barbers are jumping into SMP and they're gonna ruin the SMP industry, right? So because they're gonna start doing ghetto shit, doing it in a dirty barber shop when hair's flying around, cross contamination, charging clients, $200, $300. And I can agree with them to a certain point. That's all. We're not going to be able to stop that. There is going to be barbers that do that.
Yeah.
Um, and the are going to, clients are going to do their research and they're going to choose who to go to. But, as a barber, any barber that's extremely professional, uh, is the guy who should do SMP. We're not going to be able to stop those ghetto guys that don't want to do things the right way. It's going to happen, but it won't last long. And to do SMP, yes, it's a high ticket number, and somebody's not coming in. They're not going to come into your barber shop and just hand you 3K to tattoo their head. It's not going to work like that.
The background,
Yeah, with
up the city.
these dudes, just getting fucked up in the front drinking beer. You got loud dudes, and they're not, people are coming from all over for this procedure too. So uh somebody driving to your barbershop from a different neighborhood is not necessarily going to be too thrilled about walking in a shop into some hood that he's never been. So you got to start organic and you got to grow it, but you got to grow, you got to keep growing. Our target, like I said, the target is to get your own studio and get it out of the barbershop, and just keep it extremely professional, man. You got to have all your licenses in order. You got to have everything straight. I'm a big believer in ambiance. You want to have your shop aesthetically very nice, pleasing, clean, something that suits your personality. But again, very clean. And look at cars, right? We walk into a Mercedes dealership and their showroom floor looks awesome. Then you walk into a used car dealership and they just got cars laying outside in the field. It's, you know what I mean? So you got to have your stuff straight, and you got to work up to that. That's your target. But the goal is it's okay to charge cheap at the beginning and do it after hours in the shop as clean as possible, but you got to grow out of that. You cannot keep doing that forever, and you will never get full price doing that, like I mentioned, Juice, Juice has his room in the back of the shop. Even I want to say even Jesse started like that. I started like that. We all started like that, but we're extremely clean and extremely professional. So that allowed us to get to where we're at, doing it in a really bad environment. It's not gonna last. You won't make it like that,
Yeah, definitely, man. And for barbers or even the artists that don't understand or not familiar with the barbering culture, the whole goal of today was to just bring awareness to both sides. Specifically for the barbers, for me and Taylor, because like, we see a lot of us, a lot of barbers are coming into the industry. I think is great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I know how hard I had to bust my ass to bring home $1,500, $2,000 cash, and what that was
Yeah.
for my back and for my feet. So yeah, I want to see barbers, make a little more cheddar. But at the same time, I love this industry. It's provided me and has put me and it has been a vessel to open
Yeah, man.
a lot of other opportunities. So I want to preserve that. And I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted, and that's why I'm glad that, you agreed to have this tough talk with these tough
Yeah.
subjects, because I think it just needed to be addressed, and it's not coming from a bad, it's not with bad intentions, man. We just want
Yeah.
guys to know when you come over here, they're already looking at us. You know what? So just bring your talent over, bring your skills, and let that speak for you. But don't bring your ignorances and all that ghetto shit that we learned to sell ourselves with in that culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
This industry to distinguish yourself and just help propel it forward, because there's a lot of people that are in this industry that are really hoping that it goes to that next level, and the last thing they want is people coming up to them and saying, hey, I only feel like I could offer you $300 to do my,
Mm-hmm.
because the industry has developed such a shitty name.
Yeah, yeah. So, I want this industry, not even want, this industry is going to grow. Like, man, this, if 10 years from now, this is going to be crazy. Everybody has to do their part, man, to just keep elevating it and keeping it as professional and clean as possible. And still adding our own touch and style to it. But man, barbers, I love when I see barbers get trained and start doing SMP, man. It does something for me because bro, I spent like fucking my whole life behind the chair, made good money, but man, it's dude, I have a torn hip. I have 2 tears in my hip in my labrum from cutting hair, from standing up. I need hip surgery. I don't even do squats in the gym no more because of that. You know what I mean? So like, I know how hard it is, man, to be stuck behind the chair. You feel almost hopeless sometimes. So I love when I see a barber elevate. But you got to do it super professional, man. And man, it will change your life.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Taylor, I appreciate you, brother, jumping on the podcast, man, and
Always, man.
finally getting this done. I feel like it was long overdue. And for all you guys listening, I really hope that you guys get some value out of this and nothing gets taken out of context. And you just essentially hear and see two gentlemen that have barbering background and have done really well for themselves in this industry. And essentially, we're just trying to preserve it and propel it forward. Taylor, before we go, just let everybody know where they can reach you, contact you. If you want to put anything out on a training you got coming up, by all means do.
So everybody, you guys can contact me. My Instagram is Taylor Perry, YouTube Taylor Perry, website Taylor Perry, everything is Taylor Perry. Google SMP. I'm sorry, Google Taylor Perry SMP. I'm gonna pop up. I'm branding my name more than Oprah branding her name. Like I'm easy to find.
And we trade,
And,
baby, and we trademark.
yeah, and I'm trademarked. Believe that. So just a recap real quick. Thank you so much for having me on, man. I always love talking to you, bro. You've been a huge help in my path of SMP. You've been there with me since day one, and you've been a huge help for me, bro. Big time, more than you know.
A lot to me, man.
And the SMP industry and everyone in it, man, I appreciate everybody for doing their part. I love everybody's different styles. And I just appreciate everybody. The industry is amazing. And everybody, I want everyone to start, supporting each other more, which I'm starting to see a lot of people coming together more and more over these years.
Tagging each other and stuff.
So that means a lot to me, man, watching people grow and people start collabing with each other. And if I can give this whole industry some advice, is, man, to keep showing each other love. and keep helping each other get better. And let's just keep collabing, man, making this industry grow.
Sure. Hell yeah. Awesome, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Scalp Solutions podcast. Again, thank you, Taylor Perry, for taking some time and jumping on the podcast. Until the next time, peace.